Hare Krishna. So Krishna is describing different levels of austerity. So he has spoken about the austerity of body, austerity of speech. Now he's going to speak about something very, very important, austerity of mind. So let's see this in Śloka number 16. Manaha prasadaha saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhir ityetat tapo manasamuchyate. So here Krishna is telling that manaha prasadaha, satisfaction of the mind, saumyatvam, simplicity without being duplicitous, maunam, silence or gravity, atma vinigraha, that is self-control, and bhava samshuddhir, purifying one's existence. Iti etat tapaha manasamuchyate. All these are basically the austerities of mind. So it's very, very important to do austerity in the right way as per the Shastra. And when we do that, we'll get a lot of benefit. We cannot imagine also how much benefit we'll get. And this mind, it is such a big culprit. It literally makes people's life very, very difficult. So if we can understand that how to control the mind, how to do the austerity at the level of mind, oh, we can do a lot of things then. It will be very, very helpful, to each and every person, be it a materialist or a spiritualist. For both, this particular austerity will be very, very important. So here it is said, to make the mind austere is to detach it from sense gratification. Now this is a very important point to note. Sense gratification, anything and everything that we do to gratify our senses, that is called as sense gratification. And throughout our life, we have been just doing one thing, and that is sense gratification. Here it is said, the best training for the mind is gravity in thought. One should not deviate from Krishna consciousness and must always avoid sense gratification. So here it is given that the more we think of sense enjoyment, the more the mind becomes dissatisfied. See, one of the important things is, even after we have everything of this world, even after having everything of this world, still we can be dissatisfied. Hiranyakashipu was like that. Hiranyakashipu had everything. So many people serving him, so much of gold, so much of wealth, so much of power. But then, he was not satisfied. Why? Prahlad Maharaj tells him, because your senses are uncontrolled, Papa, so you are not satisfied. So we understand here, Hiranyakashipu is such a great personality, but then he was not satisfied because his senses were not under control. His desire for sense gratification was unlimited. And whenever we have a lot of desire for sense gratification, what will happen? We'll always remain dissatisfied. So this is a very important thing to note. Only when we start practicing bhakti, we turn from one's own sense gratification to gratifying senses of Krishna. And when that happens, automatically mind becomes satisfied. Whatever is there with us, mind will remain satisfied. But if we are just focused on one's own sense gratification, then very difficult. Very, very difficult. So here it is given, satisfaction of the mind can be obtained only by taking the mind away from the thoughts of sense enjoyment. See, when we are saying that we should take our mind away from sense enjoyment, so we should also note that if we are taking it away, then it has to go somewhere. The mind should be fixed on something. Then only the mind can remain stable and satisfied. So if we are taking away from sense enjoyment, then where are we applying our mind to? We should apply our mind to gratifying Krishna's senses by doing devotional service. So when we take darshan of the Lord's wonderful form, when we have prasadam, when we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, when we are hearing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we're doing anything which is Krishna conscious, mind gets absorbed into that particular thing. So when it is absorbed in Krishna conscious activities, it will not deviate towards sense gratification. And even if it deviates, we know we have to pull it back and engage again in Krishna conscious activity. So this is the key for satisfaction of the mind. Remove the mind from sense gratification and engage it in Krishna's service. Will automatically become satisfied. Here it is said, in the present age we unnecessarily engage the mind in so many different ways of sense gratification, and so there is no possibility of the mind's becoming satisfied. The best course is to divert the mind to the Vedic literature, which is full of satisfying stories, and as in the Puranas and the Mahabharata. One can take the advantage of this knowledge and thus become purified. So we have Bhagavatam, we have Bhagavad Gita, we have got various Puranas, Itihasas. So when we read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and various authentic Shastra, what happens? Our mind will be absorbed because, again, there is something which mind can relate to. And when the mind is absorbed in the Vedic text, you know what happens? The mind becomes purified. Why? Because the Vedic text is very, very powerful. So when we absorb our mind in the Vedic text, especially Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, what happens? We will become purified. Our mind will become purified and our mind will become satisfied. Here, a very important point is mentioned. The mind should be devoid of duplicity and one should think of the welfare of all. See, when we are thinking about sense gratification, automatically we will become so selfish that we will not care about what will happen to others when I do this particular activity. As a devotee, this is very, very important to think that when I am doing this particular thing, will this affect others or not? So a devotee is always straightforward. He will not hide things, he will not cover things, because he has nothing to do with other people. I mean, he is not there to exploit other people. Only when we want to exploit others, we start putting various masks and we become duplicitous. But then when a person is straightforward, there is no need of anything. He is not interested in exploiting anyone. He has full faith on Krishna, he is engaged in devotional service. And also, simplicity is something which attracts Krishna. So if our mind is simple, we will be able to hold Krishna's various wonderful transcendental attributes in the mind, or else not possible. Our entire existence will get wasted just in the duplicity of the mind. Inside something, but portraying something outside. So here it is given, silence means that one should always think of self-realization. The person in Krishna consciousness observes perfect silence in this sense. So what is silence? Silence means mind cannot become silent, means devoid of thoughts. It's not possible. There are some people who say that one should make one's mind devoid of thoughts. That's not possible. That's not practical. Then what are we supposed to do? Then our mind should be engaged thinking about how will I attain Krishna? How will I serve Krishna better? What can I do to please Krishna? These are the different thought processes that a devotee can have. And just because we are thinking how to do something for Krishna, we will become purified. Savai manha Krishna padaravindayaha. So just by engaging our mind in Krishna's service, in Krishna's form and other attributes, we will become purified. And this is actually silence of the mind. When is the mind turbulent? When it is thinking about sense gratification. When is the mind silent? When it is thinking about Krishna. Simple to understand. Then here it is given that one should be straightforward in his dealings and thereby purify his existence. If we are duplicitous, as we already spoke, it will be very difficult for us to become purified this life. Because inside we are portraying something outside. So, with time in the practice of devotional service, we should modify our thought process and our behavior, and we should keep it straightforward. We should keep our mind straightforward. The thought process should become straightforward and not hide things and portray other things which are not true. So in this way, these are the different austerities of the mind, namely satisfaction of the mind, simplicity, silence, self-control and purification of one's existence. And the key to all this is devotional service, especially mantra meditation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day with focus, in a prayerful mood, automatically the mind will become controlled by a very, very blissful austerity of devotional service. So now, having spoken about the body, speech and mind's austerity, now Krishna is summarizing all this. So let's see that summary in the future videos. Hare Krishna.